Hey guys, welcome to the Big Blue United podcast. My name is TJ. I'm here with Dan and Colin as usual. We're back again for a little pre-draft action. Our favorite time of year, usually as Giants fans, because the regular season sucks. So this is a time when you can sort of be hopeful for the future and see some additions that might give you some, feelings towards next year, some positive feelings. Anyway, how you guys feeling tonight?
Feeling good. I love being part of the Big Blue United podcast. Speaking of bods, a rather large one has departed the building.
Nice.
And it's bigger than it's ever been, actually. So a lot of people have been making fun of him and how large he is and overweight. And that's Dexter Lawrence.
And now that he's off the team, it's just time to dig in anywhere you can, right?
Yep. I mean, it's the Giants' way. You got to character assassination as soon as someone leaves the organization. It's the only way it works.
It's self-preservation.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into that, please follow Big Blue United on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right, guys. Obviously, Colin brought it up. Dexter Lawrence. This is huge news. The Giants have 2 top 10 picks now. Consensus around the league seems that the Giants fleeced the Bengals in this. Some weird things coming out about Dexter Lawrence texting underage girls, as well as what Colin mentioned before with his weight. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this world. What's your take on this whole situation? Whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Dan.
I didn't know about any of the other stuff, but strictly on who he was for the Giants and what we got, I think it's tough. But when you factor in the fact that he didn't want to be here and you could potentially paint a picture that he was disgruntled last year and was not performing, and then some of the additional information about him not being a good leader and not really practicing, which checks out with his performance in at least summer ball type stuff. I think we certainly got as much as anyone would have ever expected in a trade for him, but it's still a bitter pill because he was, I think, in all of our opinions, the best player on the team beyond offense and defense, just full stop, best player on the team, and potentially best interior offensive lineman since Aaron Donald retired in the NFL. And I think he performed better than most people thought last year, based on a few tweets I saw from Warren Sharp. But anyway, yeah, he's my favorite player. He's gone. That's what happens to all my favorite players. So hopefully I won't like anybody on the team moving forward. But getting a 10 back is awesome. And of course, now that we have the 10, I immediately want to trade that back as well, or trade the 5. Got to trade one of them back. That's what we're going to be talking about for the next hour, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a little. Looking back at last year and this trade going down, I thought, okay, number one, we probably never even could have envisioned getting even a top 20 draft pick in the first round for him. We didn't even think of that as a possibility, just because we thought that, I don't know, other teams were smarter than that. He's 28 years old. Yes, he's on the right side of 30, but this is kind of when you see a little bit of a decline. He's going to a city and a team that is kind of hapless and isn't a great place to live, at least when you're coming from the tri-state area to there. It's a drop-off, all that kind of stuff. But I just thought it was so odd how he chose to do last year. Yes, he didn't play awfully by any means, like you said, Dan, with the stats and all that kind of stuff. But for his caliber, it was not good. And that's what's strange to me. I would have seen it make a lot more sense if he just went out there and kicked ass like he always did. And maybe he did have a little bit of an injury issue, but I think that was overplayed because he didn't want to be questioned about his ability and his effort, which was by Carl Banks and others anyway. So he got all pissed off at that too. Just a very strange turn of events. And yeah, I mean, the fact that he wasn't even talking to anybody at the team anymore. Harbaugh had to go through his agent to have any sort of conversation. And Harbaugh's coming into a new situation where he wants to set the tone with how he wants to do things. And acting like this is not going to help your case. So I'm sure it was on both sides. It's kind of like, all right, well, if you're going to be like this, we're going to get rid of you and get as much as we can. So weird. It sucks. We all loved him, but there's an opportunity to be had right now, I think.
One of the more interesting stories I read is that this was a power play by him to get Joe Shane fired, and it was like in either him or Joe Shane, which is kind of hilarious. And that Harbaugh not being involved was like a direct involvement of Dexter's agent trying to manipulate the situation or something. If you believe any all this BS you hear out in the ether out there, I mean, but it's kind of funny. But if you look at the actual fact is that, he only got extended for 1 year. It was, a pretty modest increase in money from what he was already making. So I think that'll really go to show you that it was never really about a new contract necessarily this year. I don't know whether in years prior that could have been more of a salvageable situation. But going to this year, he didn't want to play for this team. That was obvious. And, it reminds me a lot of, when Saquon left and, took a deal that was barely better than what the Giants had offered him as well. So I'm just happy they got some compensation for this, as opposed to letting him walk, as Saquon or McKinney or any of the number of guys that have left the team over the past couple of years are proud of that we got nothing for. So I'm really looking forward to the draft is all I can say. So with 5 and 10, there's a lot of opportunity to do things. And I think there's a lot of talent, whether or not the Giants decide to trade down or stay in the top 10 for both picks.
The one other thing I wanted to say was the thing that made the most sense, like rationally, was that based on his practice habits and lack thereof, apparently, or a rumor or something that someone said that just made sense to me, was that the second that Harbaugh joined the team, Dex was like, I'm out, given how hard Giants practices intend to be with Harbaugh as head coach and how physical they are and how a lot of Baltimore players are grateful that he's gone because of how tough those were. So that makes a lot of sense to me. The guy that doesn't like practicing at all, knowing he can't be part of that culture moving forward, trying to get out ahead of it. So if he wasn't going to do that, then I'd rather him not eating up a huge amount of the salary cap and being, detrimental to a locker room that's trying to find an identity.
And it's fairly clear that this quote unquote country club atmosphere of the last 5 or 6 years that you're seeing of Dable and how he ran things, it's clear that didn't work. So why not go the other direction and get some people on board that actually want to win and aren't there to get an easy paycheck and not really care if they win or lose?
Accountability is always important, no matter who you are. I think that was something Dable was lacking.
Yep.
Especially for the guys who were, the bigger names, which I don't think a lot of is a very successful thing to do. I mean, I know a lot of places do with their quarterback, but that's a unique scenario from team to team. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, it's the ebbs and flows. It's the knee jerk. It's the NFL is totally, something doesn't work a certain way, go the exact opposite way and see if that catches again. And that's unfortunate that it's automatically like that. You'd think that you do a little more analyzing of things and maybe not just automatically go in the opposite direction. But a track record that Harbaugh has, I mean, it's just, it has to go that way at this point.
You'd hope so. Anyway. Before we jump into just doing a mock, do you guys just calling me? Do you guys want to just maybe talk about what you think the Giants should do at 1 and 10, whether it's trade down or obviously Dan, I know you want to trade down, or who should the Giants be eyeing at 5 and 10 if they don't trade down, or if they do, whatever you want to say.
I've been kind of locked in at Sonny Styles at 5. I kind of love the idea of finally getting an absolute stud middle linebacker out of the draft and building a defense around him. I love that idea. 10 was something obviously we weren't thinking about before this past weekend. And I think, Dan, you're going to expand on it a little bit more than I'm able to, just because you've been talking about it for so long. But trading down is definitely a great idea, especially considering the fact that it apparently the first round grades are lacking this year as opposed to other years, where we talked about either 10 and back or 15 and back, it drops off real quick. So why not get yourself in a position where you can accumulate somewhat earlier round picks, but later on, and just try to spread the talent around a little bit. But yeah, I like that idea the most. Although, if there's like, if it's Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs able to go at 10, yeah, okay, that sounds pretty awesome too. You're just like the middle of the the second level in the secondary is just like shored up. But I mean, even going wide receiver too isn't the worst thing there. But Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's viable. Sonny Styles is getting a lot of buzz now. I'm wondering if that is to provoke a trade with the Cowboys, because they've been talking a lot about trading up for Sonny Styles the past couple of weeks to 6. And I would love to fleece the Cowboys for a lot of draft picks. Yeah, the interesting thing is there are no direct. I mean, obviously, no matter what the draft, there's never going to be a direct replacement for someone like Dexter Lawrence. But there's no prospects of that level, like the dudes that the Eagles have drafted in the past couple of years. So you can't replace that. And yeah, the popular combinations are Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and or an offensive tackle or a guard with the first 2 picks. I think I'd be happy with either of those hauls. I just get worried if we were to go the 2 defensive player route, like you're mentioning, because it might be too hard to pass up, that we're going to really be lacking offensively, given that we only have the second round pick, and then we drop all the way down to pick 105. So there's a lot of stuff, and we'll definitely get into it. I think we might want to try to run 2 quick drafts, one with a trade scenario, one without. But I'm excited. It just made the first round even more relevant than it was before. I think there's a lot of optionality, and the Giants sort of have the most power in this draft right now. No one has 2 picks in the top 10. But yeah, I'd be happy with a lot. I think something to keep in mind is, Colin alluded to it earlier, that this draft is being looked at as relatively diffuse of talent, or dispersed, I guess. They're the top end. I've seen a lot of figures, and I guess, I don't know who said it. I listen to a lot of podcasts, so it's either New York Sack Exchange or The Athletic and Dane Brugler, or someone else that was talking about it. What's his name? The dude, Todd McShay. Someone was talking about how they only have, at most 17 first round grades, and then really 5 blue chip grades. So things really do have a couple of tiers there. So for a team like the Giants that have a lot of needs, I really think if you're able to trade the 5th or the 10th for something later in the first round, plus pick up a second or a third, if you trade the 5th, a second and a third, or a future first or future second, given how important and how talent laden in the 2027 draft is, like, those are things you need to look at seriously. And I would be trying to do that. The problem is a lot of teams are looking to trade down and get the same haul, and there's just not as much demand as there typically is. So we'll see in the scenarios that come up if that arises. I know that these mock draft simulators can be, really not realistic. So we'll try to not go crazy, just trade down 7 times in the first round, which I often find myself doing. But yeah, there's lots of options, and we have a lot of power, which is nice, because we didn't have it 2 days ago.
I did a couple of mock drafts earlier today on different sites just to kind of get a variety, and I was sort of surprised by, and it's all by chance, but it usually doesn't seem to work out this way. But I had some fairly believable scenarios when it came to like teams offering certain trades. And it was kind of based around what we were talking about, how like everybody thinks that it's a very weak first round in general. More teams were offering trades than in the past, I noticed, which I was like, okay. And then I was watching Path to the Draft on the NFL channel, and they're all talking about it like exactly like that too, which is just interesting to see it coincide with the mock drafts. But yeah, let's see how this goes.
All right, yeah, let's run a mock draft. Do you guys want to do one with trades or without trades first?
Let's go without, and then we'll have some fun with.
All right, cool.
All right. So I've got it up here. We'll do 7 rounds. There's obviously a lot of picks in the 6th. Just so you guys know, the big board we're going to do is consensus of all these, which is why I like this simulator. Like, they have the ESPN and the PFF and Athletic rankings, and they just average them out. and we'll get going. TJ, did you have any thoughts, any wants or dreams? You didn't really touch on it though.
I mean, not necessarily. I in the way you guys said about the draft being front loaded, I sort of don't want them to trade down just because I think that there's an opportunity to get, some really solid or blue chip guys at 5 and 10. And honestly, I think it's just going to really come down to how the board falls for them. I've heard a lot of talk about them, wanting to go wide receiver at 10 and then defense at 5. I think there's just so much talent on the top 10 guys that, or at least, so much talent and at positions of need for the Giants too, that there wouldn't be a reach really anywhere to fit, someone into a spot that's pretty devoid of talent already on this team. So I don't know. It's just a hard draft for me to pin down what exactly to do. I think in years past, there's been a lot easier to kind of say what each team's going to do or what the Giants are going to do. This year, it's kind of really out there. I think the board's sort of going to fall to them, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. So
that's one of the coolest things. You can really just let it fall in your lap and be in the driver's seat, as everybody's seeming to say now, which is, I feel like, not somewhere we've been in the past. I mean, this team has screwed up the last time we had 2 top 10 picks. We were very excited about it at the time, but it really hasn't shaken out the way we would have liked. But hey, thankfully they're both still on the team, so that's
yeah.
And the Giants don't need a quarterback, which is
no,
as well.
which is wonderful,
which is huge. Yeah, and to be fair, Evan Neal was consensus, perhaps the best offensive lineman in the draft. But
it's Evan Neal comeback season, man.
It's coming back. We'd rather see him get good on our team than somewhere else.
Comeback season, right. year 5, year 6.
Wow,
whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. He's gonna retire a Giant.
Ring of Honor.
All right, let's do this. I think this is an interesting scenario here for those that aren't watching on YouTube. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza first, Arvo Reese to the Jets. I think that's chalk at this point. Cardinals got Mayoga, the tackle from Miami, who is many people consider the top offensive lineman. He might play tackle, he might play guard. And Sonny Styles went right before to Tennessee, which is tough because a lot of people are projecting Jeremiah Love to go there. The one thing I'll shout out before we give our takes is I think this is an interesting spot for a trade down, even though we're not going to do it in this one, but just to flag it for everyone, I think someone would be willing to come up for David Bailey, given that he's the sort of one real true proven, pass rush specialist. Arvo Reese has higher upside, but he's only been, rushing the quarterback for a year. He's been a linebacker in previous seasons. So there is a chance that there could be a trade partner there, but we're not going to do that. I don't know, Colin, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I hate the fact that Jeremiah Love is right there because our idiot team, I feel like, is always tempted on doing the absolute worst thing at this spot. And Saquon is like, he's already been interviewed being like, yeah, it's Jeremiah Love the way that guy plays. Yeah, just like me coming out. Let's his PR team is doing a good job of like branding him an offensive weapon instead of a running back. That's very clever.
Tyron Tracy is also an offensive weapon.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend that we have intelligence in the building and we're going to ignore Jeremiah Love. If we're not talking trades, but I'd have to imagine that there'd be a team that would possibly want to move up for him too, if they were stupid.
True.
But in this case, honestly, I mean, it's Caleb Downs or Carnell Tate, and it seems that this is prime to trade down. And we're not doing that now. So I got to pick somebody. I'm going to go with Downs. I think that's, it really shores up the defensive backfield. You have basically another captain back there. We lost some DBs, including, Dane Belton goes to the Jets, but who cares? But still, it's depth, and you do need a leader back there. I think that could be a good pick right there if we had to stay.
I think there's no question that Downs would be the pick here. I think in this scenario, if you have the best offensive tackle, you have the best linebacker in Sonny Styles off the board, you got to go Downs here. Just a huge upgrade for a defense that's lacking in the backside, especially. I don't think Tyler Nubin is your answer across from Javon Holland. So I think Downs comes in as, has potential. I think he's the best player in the draft and, the only really the only guy with Hall of Fame potential.
And plus, I mean, you got a head coach that comes from a defense that, safeties are a big deal. You can't have a weak defensive backfield with a John Harbaugh coach team.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Caleb Downs, you've all said it, but reiterate that every review of him has been the most sort of incredible in the room guy. The way he's able to talk football, the way he displays leadership characteristics, sort of a no-brainer. I feel like everyone has talked about him, doesn't see how he can't be an all-pro. It's a position of need. I think safety position is evolving. It's not so it's more valuable. It's becoming more valuable in the roles they play in coverage and in the run game. So yeah, to me, I'd be happy to take him, especially because we do have the 10th pick to pick up someone else of crucial need at perhaps offensive line or wide receiver. So we'll do Caleb Downs.
Welcome to the squad.
All right, let's ignore these. Let's ignore these.
Yeah, reject all any of the trades.
Oh, Jeremiah Love is falling.
Interesting.
I think
we're at pick 10. You got Jeremiah Love is still there. Delane, Fano, McCoy, Monroe Freeling. You have a lot of wide receivers off the board here. Mekhi Lemon going at 6, which I think is bizarre. But hey,
that is bizarre.
Yeah.
Jordan Tyson's still available. Anyone else? And in my opinion, given his left, Spencer Fano's the best offensive lineman. He, again, is a right tackle, but would be a dominant interior guard, could play guard and then switch over, if needed to the tackle spot. Sir Delane is the consensus best cornerback. Freeling is interesting, but if Fano's on, it's no brainer. Jeremiah Love becomes a real inflection point, I think. I think at 10, a lot of people would like to take him. He has been described as the hands down best player in this draft by many draft analysis or whatever, talking heads. Yeah. I still don't want it because running backs don't matter. So given this, I'm leaning towards Spencer Fano or Jordan Tyson. But I think if it was up to me and not trying to put my figure out what the front office is thinking, I think I'd take Spencer Fano.
Yeah, I'm just looking at 2 people right now, and it's Spencer Fano 1 and Mansour Delane at 1A, if you will. And I feel like just in terms of what this
to pair with Caleb Downs.
Well,
in the backfield.
Yeah, and I can see a scenario where that would happen, but I also have to keep in mind that it's very clear that the running game is going to be an important part of this offense, especially to take pressure off of a continuing developing Jackson Dart and not putting too much on him too fast. Although he does look like he can handle it, I think it would be really good to give him the opportunity to, enjoy play action, because that's a quarterback's best friend. So yeah, I think I'm with you on Fano. In this scenario, not in general. I think right here.
I think for me, it's hard to pass up on Fano here. I would probably either go Delane or Tyson, and I'm honestly leaning Delane. I just think that the best cornerback in the draft falling to you at 10, which I think is probably around where he'll be picked, maybe a little bit higher than that. But the Giants have basically no one to play quarterback. Paulson Adebo didn't look great last year, and I think we lost Flott, and they have Greg Newsome coming in, who has not really been a starter in this league. So there really isn't anyone to do. I think Delane could come in and kind of be a plug and play guy for them there. That being said, if you guys both want to pick Fano, he would be my number 3 choice here. But I still think that obviously going into this year, keeping Jackson Dart upright and developing him more as a pocket passer and not having to scramble around constantly will be better for the long-term development of him. And I think, Malik Neighbors as well. So Fano's good with me.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
I'll say this before we move on, but I think this is exactly the reason why getting more draft picks in the second and third round is crucial for this team because there is a drop off. And although Delane is considered the top cornerback, I think there's less of a drop off between the other cornerbacks available. So if we had a pick it later in the first, we get a cornerback there, then shore up, the multitude of positions that we need. So it just underlines all of like the glaring needs we have. We don't have a defensive tackle. We don't have any cornerbacks. We don't have any guards. Like there are problems. But yeah, let's take Fano and roll on, and we'll see what we can do in the next iteration.
When it gets difficult to pick, you start with the trenches, and I hate that cliche, but it's true. If you have strength up front, whether it's offensive or defensive, it just makes sense.
Yeah, this actually worked out pretty good. There's a couple of cornerbacks I do really like. So Chris Johnson was one I really liked. He went the pick ahead of us, but Colton Hood is typically ranked higher than him. He's still available. He's a really strong cornerback in Tennessee. He's good size. Would be an immediate starter, I believe. There's also edge rusher TJ Parker, who could be one of the best pure edges in the draft. Christian Miller is a real run stopper from Georgia, so that's a defensive tackle replacement. He's not going to have the pass rushing upside of someone like Dexter Lawrence or someone with that skill profile, but he is an absolute run stopper, just a massive human being. We're looking to shore that up. Caleb Banks could potentially be the most talented defensive tackle who's still available. In the draft, and he's available. There's just the injury question marks, and I guess the sort of hustle work ethic question marks behind him. And then there's a lot of good stuff. That's why I think we need another second round pick. But Jeremy Bernard, I think he's a great number 2 wide receiver still available. Just a fundamentally sound, good route runner. Would be an excellent second option to sort of an alpha wide receiver that we have from the league neighbors. And a bunch of other good stuff here. I don't know if anything strikes you guys, but
let's go back up to the okay.
Yeah, I am at this point, and I was when I was doing my mock drafts too, unfortunately tempted to shore up the DTs for obvious reasons. And I was looking at size, and I was trying to go for a nose tackle and all that kind of stuff. But then all of a sudden you're forcing a pick just because we had to get rid of arguably our best player in the last 10 years. So as soon as I saw Colton Hood on there, I kind of felt like, well, that's the pick. I think just because we were just discussing defensive backs and the tough decision of going with Fano, I'm going to say Colton Hood here.
I'm with you too. Just a huge position of need, and I think that Hood is a better value than either of the defensive tackles that are up here. I know what you're saying, Colin. This is like an opportunity, obviously, to make a jump that you might not want to make just because based upon, what just happened with the position. But I think it's kind of obvious. I think that Hood is the best ranked player here and at a position of need as well. So plus, 6 feet tall and he's fast. So that's
although I will say that I liked the read up on how do you pronounce his last name? Brandon Sissy.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah, I like what I read on him too. So that's not
They're very similar physically.
Yeah.
The two guys. Colton Hood, we can say where the Hood at though.
That's true. All right, there we go. That's it.
Yeah, I'll just say, I think Christian Miller and Caleb Banks are they're both the 2 and 3 defensive tackles in this draft. But I do think that you could probably find, other players that would have an impact on our defensive line moving down. In other picks in the draft, as well as wide receiver. I like Jeremy Bernard a lot. He's sort of a short fit, but there's some exciting guys like speed guys that might be there at 105 if we're looking to go to wide receiver. But agreed, I think with whoever's left at cornerback, this is a good pick. And so we have Caleb Downs at safety. We have Fano at tackle, and then Colton Hood at cornerback. Moving forward.
Round 2 goes by.
What a drop
Round
for Caleb
3
Banks.
goes by.
Big Juice. What's his name? Big Orange? Okay, so this sucks. This is a massive drop from pick 37 to 105. A lot's happened, but I guess I already see one guy I like. So just shout out a few people that I've been taking a lot of my drafts. Deion Burks is a wide receiver from Oklahoma. He's tall. He's extremely fast. He had a rough season due to injuries with the quarterback. So he didn't have a great senior year, but he was poised to, or not senior year, last season, but he was poised to, have a really, it'd be a higher draft pick if he did. But the quarterback play hurt him. Chandler Rivers is an undersized cornerback that a lot of people really like out of Duke, fundamentally sound, good coverage guy. And Brian Parker, the second, is someone I've been taking a lot. He can play all 5 positions, and tackle, guard, and center. So there's a lot of versatility there. I've been taking him in a lot of mine. See if there's anyone else you guys want to shout out. Jacoby Lane is another super tall, lanky wide receiver. He's not going to beat anybody on the field, but he will win jump balls. Jude Barry's, probably a good swing tackle, backup tackle. Julian Neal there's a buzz about him as a cornerback. That being said, I would probably go. I mean, the heart of hearts, I'd take another offensive lineman, but I think Deion Burks would be really cool. I don't know if you guys want to see some of the information, but he's not super tall. I thought he was super tall. He's really fast though. Could be a slot corner and a rack guy and a punt kick return guy for sure.
I mean,
what are you guys thinking?
It's clear. I mean, I see Daryl Jackson Jr. as a DT, and that's where it's poking me. But he's not. He doesn't have a ton of exciting stuff, which makes me think that maybe it would just be a little bit of a reach, and you might as well just go for best player available at this point. And I do like the idea of getting a wide receiver. So I feel like I'm on your wavelength of going for a playmaker here. And that's regardless of whether or not we end up signing a Mr. Odell Beckham, because he was in the building today with taking a physical and all that. We probably, if we do sign Odell again, we probably won't hear about it until after the draft weekend's over. But that shouldn't affect us at all. More wide receivers in that room, the better. Yeah, I mean, Burks is cool. I don't really know Deshaun Stribling. I didn't really read up on him at all. Dan, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I didn't hear a ton about him. He's got good size. I don't really know what. I couldn't tell you much about him, but I just heard a lot more buzz about Deion Burks essentially being sort of like a guy that could take the top off of defense.
Yeah, that would be fine with me.
But I guess it's also important to note our free agent acquisitions and Darnell Mooney and
I was going to say,
Austin.
I think the wide receiver room looks a lot better than your interior offensive line does. So for me, I think you go Brian Parker here, a guy who's played right tackle as well as all the interior line positions. So someone who can kind of plug and play at either guard position, potentially center, as a backup if Minnesota suck boy doesn't continue his upward trajectory that he was in the end of last year. So for me, even though is another guy in the T-Rex situation where his arms are a little short, I like what he does at Duke, and I think that he'd be a good person to bring into camp to compete for one of those starting guard positions.
And the versatility, we love that. I mean, I have, especially with how our draft is going to be set up, I have no problem going with value, and it's not even need. It's like, can you play almost instantly, one way or another? Can you contribute to a team that needs to turn things around quick? And it sounds like someone who can play, 4 or 5 positions on the line would be fine as a pick at this point. I weirdly enough could go playmaker or just pure meat and potatoes at the same time at this point.
Yeah.
So if you guys are down with Brian Parker, I would be.
Yeah, I'll switch. As I said, Deion Burks, I was thinking about the other wide receivers and how it might be duplicative of all of those guys. And I would love to shore up the offensive line because it all starts there. So let's pivot. Let's go Brian Parker, and that's 2 offensive line picks in the first, but that's what this team needs.
Yeah, whatever.
And if we can get Dante Corleone later on, then we'll be cooking with the defensive line.
Oh, no. Trades.
All right. All right. Carson Beck can get lost. Holy cow.
Yeah, he can.
There are some interesting, I don't know, Drew Shelton and Bo Stevens, they're available. I would consider them taking them if we didn't just take Brian Parker.
Mm.
I don't know a ton about these other guys besides a lot of the offensive linemen. I do like Harold Perkins Jr. as a linebacker. He, I think he was like a 5-star recruit, super productive, then got injured. He is one of those hybrid linebackers that's super fast and plays linebacker / monster type guy. He's interesting. There's another linebacker. I don't know if he's still available or not, that we should think about. And obviously defensive tackle, if there's a skill position. I don't know if there's any skill position guys in this range that are Seth McGowan, Zane Durant's a D tackle I liked. I don't know if you guys saw this guy, but he's a shorter, lighter, but he's like a pass rushing type interior defensive lineman. He's probably friends with Abdul Carter. But 6'1", 290 is not really filling the Dexter Lawrence hole.
No.
But interesting player.
I mean, I think you're never going to find someone who's going to be able to do both that Dexter Lawrence does. But
right. But we want someone to stop the run.
There's Caleb Proctor that's up there too. They're really similar players. They're both kind of pass rushing, DTs. So they could come in on third down and be helpful.
I like actually. It's funny you're looking at Xavier Harris. I picked him a bunch. In my mock drafts too, and he's massive. And we need to plug some stuff. And I'm totally feeling DT at this point. It's just a matter of who.
Yeah, I mean we could filter by that real quick. Conscious of the time and wanting to move quickly, especially here. Albert Regis is a guy that a lot of people like. I'll flag him because he's lesser known, I think. But again, sort of that pass rushy type. Dante Corleone, who we're going to take if we don't take one here, just because he's Godfather. 6'1", 340, dude.
Yeah, that's a load.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's a chode, actually.
He is. He's for TJ. He's the TJ pick.
I'll pick Chode, man.
Hey, I'll pick him right now. I don't care.
Take him in the second.
You know what, man? I have on the NFL Draft Buzz rankings I have right now. They have him rated as the number 4 defensive tackle in the draft. So
really,
fire him up, man.
No, fire him up. I don't care. Let's do it now.
I think we can get him with our next pick. To be honest, I wanted to shout out Harold Perkins. I don't know if you guys saw him or not, but he had an injury in 2024. But he's that hybrid defender. Seems like a guy that would be pretty cool. Pass rusher in pursuit kind of guy.
Okay. Then what's the highest value we can get at this spot right now?
Like given this ranking?
Yeah, where we're at. And not
I mean, just to refresh, we've got Caleb Downs, a safety, 2 offensive linemen, and a cornerback. So there are no sort of offensive weapons that I'd really be that interested in at this point. There are some fast wide receivers that I think we can get later.
Yeah.
But
then go for the linebacker then. Go for Howard Perkins.
We had 3 6-round picks, so I'd take the upside potential of Harold Perkins just on an athletic freak basis here.
Yeah, fire him up, and then Corleone with the next pick.
I think I like that. And we can, hopefully he's there.
Let's see.
No trades.
All right. Let's see.
Better be there.
He's there.
Get him. Just get him.
Fire him up. Dante Corleone.
Real quick, let's just Tyreek Sapp, young son of Warren Sapp, I'm assuming.
No, I don't.
He looks like him.
He's not. He doesn't. He's 70 pounds lighter than Dante Corleone. So
that.
No. We want Dante.
No, I need to see Corleone on the back of a blue New York Giants jersey. That's what I need to see.
God, he should get the treatment that what's his name, DeVito got That he
Yep.
deserves it.
Uh-huh.
Let me just see. Malik Benson. I don't know. I don't know much about
ripping
this guy.
off people at New Jersey delis while they're waiting in line for sandwiches and autographs.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it in New England now.
You know what? Let's not overthink it. Dante Corleone,
Mhm.
Draft him
welcome
up.
to the team.
Yeah, that's it.
Of course, now we have
All right,
192 and 193 right in a row.
back to back.
I kind of like the idea of picking a quarterback.
Why?
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a waste. You can. We already picked up a free agent in what's his name? The hell was his name? Can't think of it off the top of my head. A journeyman guy. I don't know.
That's a good name for like a Madden player, journeyman guy.
Or his name's Guy Journeyman.
Yeah, Guy Journeyman. Yeah.
What
we got here? Yeah, a wide receiver would be.
I'm gonna flag Eric Rivers. I heard some buzz about him a while ago.
This gets two in the dredges for me at this point.
Aaron Anderson is another guy I'll flag. And this guy Jordan Hudson. Is he here from SMU? Those are the guys I'm eyeing. But let's see what's up close and personal here. We still need a defensive. Oh no, we just got Dante Corleone.
Yeah,
I forget.
How can you forget Dante Corleone?
Let's see. Let's make it quick.
Yeah.
I will lose track of time soon, and we'll be staring at this for another 35 minutes.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get to the second mock unless you guys just want to do like
yeah, we can do a real quick one. Yeah. I don't know. Let's say.
Can you go back to the wide receivers for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see what's I think that
Who's Jeff Caldwell?
6'5", 216. I like that.
That's the kind of guy you take in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Explosive, long speed, has got no agility.
Welcome
no blocking.
Welcome to the
He sounds like Ramses Barden all over again.
Hey, I had big hopes for him.
Oh, this guy CJ Daniels was super productive at Miami. I remember seeing. Oh, that's a super lit. Okay, so
we also could double down on going big interior defensive line.
Yeah, let's see just
Tim Keenan.
Defensive tackle real quick.
Tim Keenan's there, and he's huge.
Beckham.
Yeah,
very big.
More
6'1",
body.
320. Yeah. Just we're picking big,
let's just shove
big
these guys in the middle.
Yeah, just
and let Caleb Downs can make all the tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got back-to-back picks. So we wasted all the time. Do you want to take the super tall wide receiver?
Caldwell, let's do it.
Jeff Caldwell. Welcome to the team.
All right.
Is that it? We got one more.
I believe that's it.
That's it. All right, to recap quickly for those that aren't watching, Caleb Downs in the 1st, Spencer Fano with the 10th pick, Colton Hood, round 2, pick 37, Brian Parker, the 4th round, pick 105, Harold Perkins Jr. was his 5th round, Dante Corleone, the Don, 186 in the 6th round, Tim Keenan, and Jeff Caldwell in the 6th round.
How the hell is Spencer Fano a D-? How is that?
It always gives me that, man. I don't know.
It's weird. Overall draft grade C+. I don't think so.
That's wild.
Yeah. I'll screenshot it or something so we can use it for later.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Screen that.
Do you want to run a? Let's do
a quick trade one.
3 rounds.
Yeah, let's do I'll just do that just in case. Fast
4 rounds.
Consensus.
All right, yeah, let's just do it.
And we'll move more quickly. We don't have to do all the talking about the players now.
Yep.
Who wants to talk about men anyway?
All right,
all right.
Oh, I like that.
So that's pretty good. Carolina's offering for pick 5, pick 19, 51, 83, and next year's 2nd. I mean, that's sort of ideal, and that's the only offer we have here.
I say go.
Do you want to? We can still take Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs, and Jeremiah Love is dropping again. But for the sake of this, do you want to take this?
What else is there?
Or take a 10? This is the only pick offer for this pick.
I think we should pick at 5 and try to trade 10.
Yeah,
Colin.
Yeah, I mean we're automatically getting the best player at a certain position. Hopefully,
so 6 Sonny Styles and see what we get at 10.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, Sonny Styles at 5. All right, so we got an offer for pick 10, Kansas City, pick 16 and
This
33.
this is, I think, an
pretty
ideal
juicy.
scenario here.
Love that.
Is you're
That's pretty
still
good.
going to get somebody good up there, and then you're going to get another second round pick.
I sort of like this one though, to be
Detroit
candid.
is offering $17.50 and a third round pick.
And we don't have to give anything.
But we don't have to give up our fourth round.
Oh, I see. I see.
So we're not getting another pick, but they're
I didn't notice
it's a higher pick.
Huh.
Do the Detroit one, I would think.
Yeah, do the Detroit
I'd like
one.
the Detroit one. I think it's more
you
fun.
I don't think it's worth losing the fourth round pick.
Go for it. What do we look
All
at?
right. So I think for the sake of reality, we're not gonna
Trade twice
again. Like this would be great, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. So let's just take that one trade down.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's it's the way the board has fallen. It's very obvious that you're probably picking Jordan Tyson here.
Yeah, Jordan Tyson or Omar Cooper. I don't like Caden Proctor at O-tackle. He's gigantic and could be good, but I have strong Evan Neal feeling from him.
I'm
Avian Terrell is a good pick too. It's hard to it's hard.
But again, I don't know.
I think Jordan Tyson.
Sunny Styles. Jordan Tyson would be great as long as he's for real. He's sort of soft, but he's got the most upside. And also just shout out to Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I think he could be really cool, the safety from Toledo.
Big hitter.
And Caden McDonald is the number one D tackle from all accounts I've seen. I don't think it's worth it here.
No.
I'd rather take the upside of someone like Jordan Tyson. So Jordan Tyson?
Yep.
Jordan Tyson.
Jordan
Wide
Tyson.
receiver, Arizona State. 17th overall pick.
Jordan Tyson.
What we got here?
All right, another trade down opportunity. Like this is something I would take. Miami's offering pick 43 and 94 for pick 37.
What's the next?
I mean, again, I don't know if that's realistic or not. So for the sake of reality, should we take this pick or should we, roll with what we got?
I think because we're going with the trading, and if we get our way, we'll do a lot of trading early and then let the middle to the end of the draft kind of play out as it would. That's what we would like. Isn't it? Like, let's wheel and deal early.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a no-brainer if this is
Fire
realistic.
it up.
I don't know if that's realistic.
43rd and
Fire it
94th
up.
pick for the 37th pick.
All right, then we're gonna take Chris Johnson here. I don't know what you guys think, but
That's fine with me. Cornerback is good.
like Chris Johnson from San Diego State cornerback. I think he's like a very typical Ravens type corner, size and athleticism. We already took Jordan Tyson, so Jeremy Bernard's not a question. Caleb Banks is there. Again, top upside defensive tackle. I would be happy with that.
I still think Johnson's probably the better pick here.
Yeah.
Okay, and just offensive line. To recap, we have picks 43, 50, 94. So like we have options here. So if we want to go corner, we can go corner and see what we have left at 50. Is that the deal?
Fire it up.
That's good.
All
and
right.
then we unfortunately should probably look for offensive line next, almost automatically.
Caleb Banks is here.
Caleb Banks is on the board. I think you
More
take it.
defensive, yeah. That's cool. That's a good pick right there.
That's easy. Falls right to your lap.
Defensive
That's
tackle.
3 defensive picks. I think we got to go offense with the next 2 at least.
Nah, who cares?
I like Elijah Surratt. All right. Not a lot of offensive line.
Well,
All right,
Logan
so to
Jones,
recap, just for everyone, Sonny Styles, Jordan Tyson, Chris Johnson, Caleb Banks. Really short up the defense. All 3 levels got hit, which is great. I feel really good about the defense. I feel concerned about the offensive line. But
you could go Logan Jones here. I think is decent value.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this pick and 105 for let's see who we got left for offensive linemen, tackles. Yeah, Crownover and Austin Barber are interesting. Markel Bell is enormous.
Yeah,
you guys know how big this dude is. 6'9", 346.
Yeah,
It's like,
too big.
Guards, Jalen Farmer, Cage Casey, Brian Parker II's gone. He went early. That's how good he is. if you
I do
want
like
to,
the idea of going Logan Jones here because, and I know it's not just us.
because
as
he's
a
Ohio, because he's Iowa. 'Cause he's in
Well,
Iowa.
that and I just think the fact that like nowadays you can easily have a center who comes out as a center, and you train him at both of the guard positions too. Like it's just kind of what it is. So why not get a little more versatility? And we need
This
it.
is just what I don't like to see: lack of contact authority. That's susceptible to power rushes. That's not going to be great for
Well,
the.
if you combine the Minnesota Suck Boy and him, they got to stop somebody, right?
Yeah, but they both can't play center at the same time.
I think they should cut them down the middle and then fuse them together. And then,
Let's just
yeah.
take a quick look. What is this dude's deal?
Jalen Farmer.
Yeah, I was looking at him a little bit too. I mean, excellent lean mass, natural
Thick and
strong.
strong.
Welcome to the team.
Okay with me.
Yeah.
TJ,
Fire it up, man.
Jalen
fire it
Farmer.
up, boys.
Guard. We need guards.
All right. Deion Burks is still available. Well, we have our wide receiver. Brendan Thompson's another speed demon at wide receiver. I like Will Lee and Devin Moore at corner.
I wouldn't be opposed to going another corner, to be honest.
Chris McCowan, he's sort of good.
Yeah.
So this is the last one we're mocking right now.
Man, his motor looks really high on that chart.
Cerebral.
Just pick whoever's got the highest motor on the chart.
Yeah, do they have a motor scale?
Will Lee?
Motor? Yeah.
Will Lee?
Oh, he's got some size
motor.
too.
Can you scroll down a little bit so we can see about his motor? Where's motor? I swear it was the last guy's thing.
He was the only guy rated with a motor. Let's see this guy. This guy's supposed to be good. 6'3". This seems like
Takario Davis was a guy that I was looking a lot at because I love his name.
It's a good name. He's 6'3". He seems like something that'd be on the Ravens. TJ, just from your expertise, what do you think his motor score is?
The motor might be a little lower than you'd want, but he makes it up for in other areas.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that one, Colin. What do you think?
Yeah, it's Takario Davis.
I like it too because if he doesn't quite, work as a cornerback right away, you can throw him in safety positions. You can get him learning whatever kind of defense we're going to be going with, and yeah, I mean,
that'd be a lot of nice height considering you have Sonny Styles.
Exactly.
Oh, geez, who's the linebacker we took from the Bears?
Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds. He's like 6'5" too.
Yeah.
Just put a bunch of giants on that side of the field.
Go figure.
All right, cool. That was just a 4-round mock with trade downs. We can do a little screenshot here, but to recap, Sonny Styles, then we traded the 10th pick for 17, 50, and 94, and got Jordan Tyson at 17, which I think people would think is a coup. Chris Johnson, I think, is perhaps top 5. I think he is definitely top 5 cornerback prospect. Caleb Banks, top 3 defensive tackle prospect, could be the most talented defensive tackle in the draft. Jalen Farmer, we fell in love with reading his biography 2 minutes ago, and Takario Davis, a tall cornerback.
Tall guy.
That's it for the draft extravaganza. I will be running mock drafts all day, every day for the next 2 days.
Yep, same.
I hope so. I'm going to get nothing accomplished and just do that.
This is the best scored draft I've gotten, A-.
Nice.
Right on.
I mean,
all right. Let's go because we've gone way over the amount of time we usually do.
That's all right. This is the biggest.
Our sponsors are going to be furious.
Yeah, I just don't want to. Yeah, the sponsor is going to be furious. All right, whatever you want. Go ahead, Colin. What do you got for me?
In terms of what?
I don't know.
How did you have a good day today?
Today was good. I saw the Super Mario movie yesterday with Riley and brother and Alex. It was awesome.
Was
Great
it
movie.
awesome? Good.
Highly recommend it. Yeah, you should watch it.
I highly recommend Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Pretty
Yep.
good.
I'm not a big Gosling guy, but I do love sci-fi.
He did fine in it. He was. I would say it's one of his better roles.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to watch it anyway, but that's good to hear.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, we're not all of us are gonna be hanging out this weekend for the draft, but at least two of us here. And
We'll be here. Yeah. I got a tank of gas today. It's $45 to fill up the tank. What's up with that?
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. Goddamn liberals. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. You can follow Big Blue United on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And we look forward to discussing the results of the draft with you in the near future. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful evening or day, whenever you might be listening to this.
Yes. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.